Hey everybody, give me just a minute. We're gonna get stuff set up here, I promise. Let's see if I can get my tablet on Happy Land. Hey. Hey, Texas Fan of Fishing. Hey, 351. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Hey, Tara. Can we hear me? Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so we are out. I don't know. We're going to go with fishing on the Mississippi River since that seems to be the title of it. And don't have a lot going on yet. I did try snagging some carp, or some Asian carp, I should say. That did not occur. Right now, I have out some salted shrimp, and I'm about to pull out my bluegill rod and see if I can catch something a little more fun for bait. I tried watching one of Fun Fishing Adventures videos to learn how to catch bait, but I think I fell asleep, or I don't know. Think of some kind of semi not terribly mean insult and use that instead, and it all works out. Scotty's a good guy. If you haven't checked him out, that's because you're not very bright, and you should resolve that. And of course, there are lots of fabulous channels that come in here and show their support. And yes, I realize at 4 o'clock or 4:30, whenever Cindy goes live with her giveaway, that everybody's going to run for the hills, and I can't say that I blame you. We'll start off with half baby nightcrawler and see how that works. So I'm excited today for many reasons, other than just being the most handsome guy you'll ever see. I'm finally getting my anvil rod out. I had it out once before. I also had that PC Fun Alios 400 out once before, but not in conditions where I could catch something that could be monstrous. As you may or may not be able to tell, the river is down a lot. The camera's about 2 feet from the end of the boat ramp. My rods are about 6 feet from the camera, so that'll give you an idea. I heard a clicker go off, but it wasn't enough to make me do anything good, so we'll see what happens. Wind wasn't too bad. A lot about it. We got running today, so I was like, hey, let's go down to Shelby Forest, and I can do some fishing, and you can do some running, and so that's what we're doing. And I am using a jig that is way too lightweight for these conditions. Just hoping that there's some baby bluegill sunfish hanging out in these little rocks right by the edge. And that's not happening. I did try to, like I said, got out my snagging rig, tried to snag some Asian carp, because when this was down a year or two ago, you can see that just to the left of the ramp is deep, to the right of the ramp is really not. And so the Asian carp will hang out on the left side because the water flows north to south. And they're out there just kind of, they don't like a lot of current, a lot of water movement, and that's gives them some shade. And as you can see, we got a barge going by. So, you know, we can pray for the barge bite or just admit that that's something someone made up. I don't know. Because it's not like the river isn't constantly churning anyway. Ooh. I'm not sure how my tablet did it, but it took a went for the ride of its life. Let's see. Go to the bait shop. Good idea. There's no fish in Mississippi River. That is true. What's the problem with our fishing community? Sorry. Too many people. Everybody wants to go get free freebies. I don't know. Yeah, I won't. I will not feel bad. Yeah, I've heard the clicker go off a little bit, and now that I'm able to pay more attention because I was rigging stuff up, and go ahead and tighten the rods down and not worry about the clickers being the notification methodology. Forgotten how this clicker works on this one. Emmer Skeeter. Oh, there it is. Somebody said do the catfish dance. I don't really do the catfish dance, but I can do the snowman dance, which is just kind of like this. It helps if there's music, but not a lot. Helps if you've been drinking. That is really what makes it better. The bells are me right now. Getting some up on the rods. 1, 2, 3. It's the right number. Funny part is I got 7 rods with me, but only 3 out right now. 8 if you count the bait rod. So this is all very soft sand. So when you see me fall, I mean, I've never fallen before on a live stream, so why start now? But, you know, first time for everything. So the 2 rods on either side, those are animal rods. I got them on a closeout for 50 bucks a pop because Travis told me they're good rods. And all they had left was, I think, extra heavy, which is perfect for this. This one in the second, the middle one is a Thiblink Fish Triumphant, whatever. It's a 2-piece. So before I got my truck, and even after I got my truck, so the truck has a 5.5 foot bed. 7.5 foot rods don't even fit all the way, you know, flat in the bottom, even if you run them diagonally. So anyway, hey Rod. Hey Rod, I mean, you know, everybody wants to see Mid-South dancing. I hear he's a sexy, sexy beast. Of course, I also have been known to lie. So take that for what it is. The tripod is actually in the bed of my truck. That way I can get the extra height without the wind blowing it over as much. And I'm about to sit into the famous Watchman South Follow the Chair chair. So I know I brag on Ashley a lot, but man, tell you, if she loses any more weight, she's going to disappear. She's been doing really good. She's been not only running, but working out. I think she said she's going to do like 12 miles today. Beats me why, but anywho. Yeah, I'm fishing on Rod's River. That may be Rod on the tugboat right there. Hey, Rod. Probably not. I think I mentioned this. I meant to, if not. I was watching a little documentary on Asian carp, hoping that, there was more information since it was posted, recently. It's not. Same old nonsense. One of the things that it said was that a tugboat uses 4 liters of gas, of fuel, to move 1 ton, like 600 or 900 kilometers. And I had to go back and look at that. Oh, 1 ton. Yeah, okay. Because, when they're pushing, 12, 16 actual barges, and they're weighing, 30 tons each. Okay, maybe so. I was like, maybe if you started at the top of the Mississippi and just kind of let the current push you south. I don't know. Oh, I have visitors over here on the right. They probably think I'm crazy. I am. I was just making sure I didn't have a boat. I couldn't imagine anybody wanting to launch in this, but.
No. How's fishing?
As good as you might expect it to be.
Really?
Yeah. I've got 0, and I'm shooting for 0.5 at this point.
Okay. What catfish, I presume?
Yeah, I'm using salted shrimp right now. I'm going to go back trying to catch some live bait, but.
Okay. Like channel cats or?
I'm going for blue cats.
Okay.
Mississippi River blue cats. I mean, they can get over 100 pounds easy.
Yeah.
But, if I catch a 20 or 30, I'll be happy. In the winter, everybody slows down, right?
Yeah.
But the blue cats, the bigger ones will come out and eat, and
Okay.
I'm more hoping. And
Are they active during the day or are they more at night?
whenever they're hungry,
Okay.
there's kind of a myth that, catfish are only active at night, and that's not really true.
Sure.
They follow the bait, and as the sun heats up the shallow water,
Yeah.
especially with rocks around, the bait fish are going to move up, and the catfish are going to want them too.
Yeah, you got a nice wind. Yeah, maybe blowing in bait. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're from Minnesota. We fish the St. Croix and the Mississippi up in Minnesota area. We don't have blue cats up there, but we got big flatheads and channels and sturgeon.
Yeah, see, the channels down here don't get as big as they do up north. If you catch a 10-pound channel, you're doing really, really good.
Those are different common up by our area.
Yeah, I hear you guys get 30-pounders somewhat regularly.
Yeah.
I think the blues eat them before they get that big. I don't know.
Blues, they don't make it past. I think Iowa might be the most north they make it. Yeah. Cool.
I'm glad to have you down here visiting.
Yeah, we're just short trip. She got to get 50 states by 50, and so she just turned 50 a couple days ago, and we got Mississippi out of our off the list, and so staying in Memphis here, and
Yeah.
and then back home tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. So the weather actually feels pretty good to us. Being from Minnesota, it's a little colder up there.
Yeah, we get an inch or 2 of snow down here. It's like, shut the roads down.
Yep. Now, is it usually this dry?
Yeah. And a lot of our watershed lakes, they drain them for the winter, or not drain them, but drop the pool, so that when the springtime rains come, they can hold it so it doesn't flood further south.
Got it.
Yeah, we tend to stay, up until April or May. It's fairly dry.
Okay. Well, great. Well, best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good trip. Okay, Rod, I don't know anything about barges. We already know I'm not very smart. 1,800 tons? Wow. All I knew was if you you load 16 tons and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. You're welcome. That's the best I can do on songs right now. So that was a couple visiting from Minnesota. And I thought so from the accent. But didn't want to be doing the good redneck. Oh, you ain't around here, are you? Really nice folks, though. So I'm rocking on rocks to see how long it takes me to twist an ankle, break an ankle, or fall and kill myself. All of it off camera so that I don't become another meme. I'm trying to bait fish. I do have the bells on my rod, so if something fun happens, I should know. Something really fun happens, I won't have a rod anymore. I'd love to get a lot of bluegill out there, though. Or half of a bluegill, or, you know, something other than salted shrimp. And salted shrimp is very nice in that it's preserved, and you've always got something to start off the bait trip with. What I need is Shannon out here. If Shannon were here, she'd be catching all the shell crackers. But I'm using a trap magnet head. I don't know, a 50th to 64th, which is great. Blah, 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 blah stuff. If you go back a couple of years on my channel and see the, walking on the Mississippi, this is the same boat ramp. And over to my right, there was, you sandbar for 200 or 300 yards out into the Mississippi. I was not expecting this to be a productive trip, and normally I'm not going to park on the boat ramp, but like I said, I don't see anybody wanting to launch a boat. Whew. I'm telling you, I'm going to twist that ankle, if not both of them. On a quick little trip here. So that is the edge of the boat ramp, which is, like I said, 2 or 3 feet from the back of my truck. You can see here, that's a good foot drop. And there's some more back here, but whew, I wouldn't want to launch anything there. So we were out here before a couple years ago. You can see up ahead, little sandbar coming out. That normally is covered. And if you look at the edge of the river, you can see about 6 feet up, maybe even 10 feet up in elevation. It's kind of where the normal edge is. And then straight ahead, there's an island that is sometimes you can barely see a twig sticking up, and other times it's enough to pull your boat up on and have a little fun with friends. That did not sound as G-rated as it meant to be. But anyway. So the rig that I'm trying to use today, ooh, what to do with it? I think I tied that one off. Anyway, it's a 12-aught River Cats tackle. It's not the German steel, it's the previous version of, I don't know, Japanese steel, whatever steel you can find. And these were, I'm not sponsored by them, and I'm not endorsing them, and the reason I'm not endorsing them, I have not used their products enough to have an educated opinion. But these are the 12-aught hooks, and they're going up to a 3-way swivel, and then off the 3-way swivel, I'm running a 10-ounce Cannonball sinker. One of them is running like a 2 or 3-aught hook, but the other two are running those River Cats, and they're all running the same general style rig. Yeah, Danny Stone, Creel, all those people are big supporters of River Cat tackle. So I have no doubt there's an issue, or no doubt that there's, not going to be an issue with them. But I don't endorse anything that I have not personally used and all that good stuff. Tip down here should be around 50 or so. I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm wearing jeans. Pardon me for this, folks, but sniffles. Sorry. A little general housekeeping there. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with all this stuff. Hey, Scott B, good to see you. Scotty, you're as funny as I am when I say stuff like that. Man, that's like the 3rd or 4th barge I've seen come through. Is that the right term, Rod? Barge for the whole series of everything? I mean, I realize each individual thingamajiggy is a barge, and a tug is what actually pushes them. But, I'm a redneck. Give me a little bit of love. Yeah, Scotty, driving through here, there's a little bit of marshland, and it was frozen. But that's also because the sun can't really get to it. Yesterday was our first day above freezing, probably for a week. Or maybe 2 days ago, I don't know. But this is definitely the nicest day of the week. My reels today, I've got a PC Fun K-House XS50. I've got an Abu Garcia 7000C, I think. And then I got that PC Fun Alios 400. 2 are running mono, and the Alios is running 65-pound braid. I've got those Alioses set up for when I go back to Florida. Whatever kept breaking me off is not going to have quite as easy a time doing it now. Because whatever I kept getting hit by, it would just run. And I couldn't slow it down, so I tightened on the drag. And I'm sure you all know what happens when you tighten down drag. I remember as a kid, I didn't understand what drag was for. So I was like, I'll just tighten that crap down. Anyway, who wants the thing slipping, right? Yeah, I never said I was the brightest bear in the woods, just the cutest. So I talked about those fib links. They come in this little nice little baggy thing. It's the Fish Triumphant. It's an 8.5 footer, medium heavy, but it handles 1 to 10 ounces of weight and 10 to 50 pound line. And these, again, are more for, I've never liked 2-piece rods. Because, back when I was a kid, 2-piece rods, they always broke at the ferrule. And things have gotten so much better with the quality, but you know how us old people are, we're set in our ways. But, you know, when we go to Florida, we'd take her SUV and kids in the back seat, and they're like, you know, not wanting rods banging them in the head and all that kind of stuff. So I started trying to find some two-piecers. What I would really like to find is a two-piece 6 or 6.5 foot catfish rod. That way I can use it on the dock out there, because it's a covered dock, and you know, not have to side cast all the time. It'll also be good for the kayak and also for traveling. The FibLink rods were on sale on Amazon somewhere, I don't know, probably Black Friday is when I got them. Oh, this one just came out of the bag, and it got a little bitty thingamajig, a fault, a little defect, but who cares? And these FibLink, these particular ones, so they, if you watch Skipjack Cindy, you know, Travis is like, you know, I'm pretty sure all the rods are pretty much the same these days, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. You know, different name on the reel seat, different name on the blank, but overall, the stainless steel guides look pretty much identical. The reel seats, without other than the name, look pretty much identical. But these, the reel seat, it screws up from the bottom, whereas most of them will screw down from the top. Some people like that. Some people don't care. So if it matters to you, then now you know. Doesn't matter to you, you still know. Neat how that works. Oh, let's see. Hey, Real Life 423. Catching anything? Just cold, brother. The river's too low to launch the boat, even though I wasn't going to anyway, but, you know, at least I have an excuse of why I didn't. And I actually wanted to go running today, and I have not done a fishing live stream in so long. It's just, I needed to get something out there so people would think that I still know how to, or that I still fish. I won't say that I know how to fish. Just that I still fish. And just a secret tip. I hate when everything is a hack. Nothing's a hack anymore. When you're putting these on, tighten it down and then just try to jimmy the reel back and forth a little bit. And that'll usually give you a little bit more movement. And then once you get the first one tightened up, you just tighten up the second one. And their purpose is to lock it, you know, the second one locks the first one in place, basically. So it doesn't back out, in theory. Now, Scotty, you said you got a new reel. How are you liking that new reel? Spamming stuff and stuff and stuff. It's okay. I'll tell you what, Scotty, if you have any power tools like the 18-volt Ryobis and the Waltz or anything like that, you can get a step down thingamajobber, and you can use that to actually run things if you know, if that's something you're interested in, because those little 4 amp hour batteries for my Ryobi, they last pretty well. And actually the Ryobi, I don't have it with me, but it comes with a or you can get, I should say, a converter to hook to the battery, and it'll put out USB 5-volt, which might be helpful to you. But the difference is those batteries are lithium, right? They're not the lithium iron phosphate like you're talking about. And the lithium iron phosphates are the ones that are considered to be safer and won't spontaneously combust, although, you know, just like everything in the world, I think that's way overhyped. You know, the first iPhone that caught on fire, somebody's like, oh my God, they're all gonna die. Because that's how people are. They get very sensational. Not sensational the way Scotty is, because Scotty is super sensational, but not dramatically. 12 amp hour. Yeah, now that'll last you all day. People run, I mean, you run a fish finder for a couple of days off of one of those. Granted, I know you're not running a fish finder, but just to give you an idea. And folks, there's a lot of mystique around, you know, what amp hour battery do I need? Check your device. It'll tell you how many amps it uses. So, you know, the one that I always hear about are trolling motors. You know, how much do I need? Okay, well, look at your trolling motor. How many amps does it use? Okay, well, you know, at half speed, it uses 12 amps an hour. Okay, so you get a 60, you know, get a 100 amp hour battery, divide by 12. That's certainly a number, and I would only use 80% of that number. So I would say, you know, 80 divided by 12, which is yet another number. We'll say 6 hours roughly, is how long it should run it at that speed. It's not rocket science. Now, the other thing you need to know about these lithium iron phosphate batteries, do not buy one and put it in your car as a starting battery. That's not what they're made for. They don't have the cold cranking amps that you need to start your car. They're looking at a moderate load over a long period of time. That's where these batteries shine. They don't shine in starting cars. Because yeah, that was the first thing I was thinking. Like, well, you know, these batteries are so good. Well, you know, why put them in a car? Come on, what's wrong with you people? Not what they do. Hey, Barbie in Oregon. Hey, River Ocean. That's the wrong bag. No wonder I can't find my links. I am fishing for whatever will bite, but the idea is catfish. At this point, I'd take a turtle. Three fishing poles, bro. I got 7 with me. In Tennessee, I think it's 100 hooks combined that, you know, you can use, whether they're on trout line, whether they're on, you know, however you choose to divvy up your 100 hooks. Although I think there is a limit to the number of hooks that can be on one rig. I know, like the Alabama rig, also known as the A rig, also known as, who cares what else it's known as. The drag on this is set to 0. You can't use all 5. I think you can only use like 3 baits on it, or 3 actual hooks on that. So there's a limited number of hooks per rod, but no limit on the number of rods. Okay. That's just me moving rods around. Doing the rod shuffle. Ooh, bag limit for trout here, I think, is 5 or 7. But over in the area I'm in, which is West Tennessee, the only way we get trout is when TWRA stocks them. and they don't survive the summer here. So it's all hatchery trout. Now, if you go over into Arkansas, they have the White River, and they have hatchery fish in there, but it's also a self. They spawn there. And off of Greer's Ferry Lake, they have the dam there on Greer's Ferry Lake. It's a Little Red River and a couple others. But they pull water from the bottom of the dam to go downstream. So it's cold water, and they killed off all the natural species. And so now trout's pretty much all they have there. Scotty, I love you. But only in the way that will not get us turned into pillars of salt. Just in case you were getting all excited. I hope that sun's... How's the picture? Is the sun annoying? Because I can certainly change the angles. I have my sunglasses on. I can't see crap now. I normally do not push people to other channels for giveaways because I don't think that's really right. You know, the giveaways are really... some of it's for growth, but some of it's to, a lot of it's to thank the people that have been there and have gotten them to where they are. But today at either 4 or 4:30, and I don't know because I didn't look, Skip Jack Cindy's having her giveaway, and tomorrow Hitch by Hitch is having a big giveaway. So, when everybody bugs out to go over there, I don't blame you. If I weren't fishing, I'd be on Skip Jack Cindy's live too, trying to get me some freebies. And I've thought about the giveaway thing. I don't think it's for me that much. I understand giving back to the community, but I haven't made anything off of YouTube yet. Hey, Bill Owens, good to see you, my friend. 4:30. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, yeah, 4:30 Central. So 6:30 Pacific and 3:30 Eastern? Yeah. Oh, right. I'm sorry. 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. Barbie, I don't know if Randy is going to ever be able to beat the absolute gorgeous Frosty the Pervert that Anthony J. Alday drew. Because that was magic right there. When we had the snow, I don't know, last week, some kids built snowman, and I wanted to go in these people's yard and just stand next to the snowman and take a selfie with it. But I thought, this is the South. Everybody got a gun. I'm going, what you doing? Oh, I'm just Frosty the Pervert. Folks, it's fine. I didn't think that would go over well. Scotty, that's not nice. Now, I mean, if the picture's bad, let me know, and I can... Barbie, no, I didn't. I am bad about subscribing to new channels. I mean, I've known... I just, in the past couple of months, I subscribed to 351 Cleveland because I just never have... I mean, I've known him for a couple of years, but a lot of people start up YouTube channels and just never go anywhere with it, never do anything, and kind of like I do. Hey, Skeeter. Good to see you, my friend. And I also am I will say a little offended, but a little put off by people, you know, like, hey, I picked you up. Hey, I picked you up. I'm like, you don't know me from anybody. And the only reason you're saying that is so I'll pick you up too. And that is sub for sub, which really is not, if I'm not going to watch your channel, I'm not going to sub to it, you know? And I am a big fan of live streams. I will not say that I work remotely most of the time and have a live stream going if it's on most of the time, but that's kind of how it is. I like the interaction with people. I like that kind of stuff. And I realize Randy does live streams, and I'm gonna have to go pick up the Flound the Pound. You're never gonna go anywhere. I mean, you mean like up? Yeah, I understand that, Scotty. One of the things that I do like about YouTube, and it's going to sound a little morbid, but it's a legacy, right? You know, like a good example, Caitlin Powell. Anytime she wants to see her daddy, she can get on YouTube and watch his videos, and you know it's a blessing in that way. You know, it's so much better than the last voicemail you got from somebody who passed away, because you just got fortunate enough to keep it. Bill, I'm not going to say I cheated, but Cindy, when Cindy gave us the tip about that sound thing, there are 4 billion channels on YouTube and yada yada yada, and I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. That really worked. It helped me a lot. I tried not to abuse it because I didn't want to be one of those channels that had 4 million subscribers and 3 watch hours. But I did want to get over that 1,000, and I wanted to get the cushion. But I still don't have my 4,000. I don't even have 3,000 watch hours. So in a year. So I've got to work towards that. Catching fish would help, but the fish don't seem to care. They're not on my side today or any other day. Yeah, Barbie, every now and then I go through my contacts to clean things out. My mother is still in there. She died 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. It was right before COVID started. I can't delete her number. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be able to call her. She will not answer, I promise. But it just, I can't delete it. I wish I could get into her email and see if I could find the family fortune that we all know doesn't exist. The good thing, Bill Owens, about the subs that I've picked up, you hear a lot of people talk about how they, YouTube goes in and cleans out and they lose, a bunch of subs. I don't have that problem. I'll lose 1 or 2 here and there, pick up 1 or 2 here and there, but I've been fairly consistent at staying, around that 1,900 mark. And by far, my Florida videos are the most watched, as far as my live streams go. My best video overall is the one comparing the Pflueger President Reel series sizes, and I need to redo that one because I've got another size that it didn't have. But I'm not a good influencer, and the reason I'm not a good influencer is they always want to put out the latest and greatest and the newest, and I'm a budget fisherman. I have good equipment. Please don't mistake what I'm saying there. There's a difference between cheap and budget, right? And I picked up some Penn Spin Fisher 6 combos for some of them for $100, some of them for $130. The reel by itself normally $200. Excellent reels. Walmart was selling a bunch of these Abu Garcia reels, and I picked them up for like $62 for a catfish special, maybe 69. I don't remember, something close to that. Barbie, I'm an oddity in that I'm a chameleon. I kind of adjust to where I'm at. You know, I behave pretty well on Earl streams. That's just when, in case you're seeing the rods, I'll go crazy. You know, on Cindy's, I'm a lot more laid back and loose, and on my own channel, I'm really not what people expect, because they're like, where's the weird guy? But I try to be entertaining, and I try to add to things, and I can be polarizing. I understand that, you know. There for a while, you know, I was flirting with everybody, and it was all harmless, and I don't have a good reason as to why I stopped. I just kind of was like, I think it was talking to a coworker. I knew that she talked about her husband cheating on her, but then I found out he wasn't really. When I consider cheating, and you know, physical, this was text messaging and stuff, and while everybody knew it was all in good fun, you know, when I was doing it, or at least was supposed to, you know, I was like, you know, that's probably not healthy for relationships, and you know, Ashley is the one I'm going to stay with and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, wasn't like I was looking elsewhere. But, and yeah, I'll still flirt a little bit of goofy stuff. But I went a little over the edge. I really went over the edge one night on Main Girls Live, and it wasn't mean or bad or anything. It was just, I don't like not being acknowledged, so I push a little harder, and I blocked her for a couple of weeks, not because of anything she did, but because of me, because I was out of line. And you know, like I say, it wasn't like filthy or nasty or anything. It was just too repetitive. I mean, you know, Bill, one of the things that's really surprised me as I've gotten older, and I don't know how old you are, but I'm mid-50s. When I was a kid, adults were very mature. And I know very few what I would consider mature adults. We're all still kids at heart. And maybe watch it, Scotty. Well, maybe whoop you. Sorry, the stuff keeps getting on my screen. Oh no, actually, Barbie, you did see what that tiff was about. I don't know where it came from. That was the two were unrelated. Yeah. I don't tend to tell my side of the story, but you were there when that happened, and I'm like, that was uncalled for, and that was the end of that. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that is not my MO at all. Yeah, I mean, you know, our parents, they just were, they were adults. And, you know, I do a lot of adult things like, you know, have a job, earn a living. Not as much fun as, you know, they made you think it might be. But as far as being a mature adult, I'm not. I don't want to be. And maybe our parents weren't either, and we just didn't, they hit it better. I am who I am, and that's all I am, you know? I adapt to my surroundings, as, you know, I've talked about, but I'm not, I'm an HR nightmare. You know, I tell jokes that I know I shouldn't tell, but by golly, they're funny, so I'm going to tell them. You know, not nasty stuff, just, you know, stuff that, you know, makes HR cry. You know, telling my boss I'm going to call ICE on him, for instance. And we all laugh about it. Oh, yeah, I mean, Barbie, I also grew up on a farm, although not to the degree you did. My dad tried his hand at farming when I was a kid and realized it was easier to lease it to the neighbor who actually knew what he was doing. But yeah, I mean, I wish my kids had grown up the way I did. I mean, yeah, of course, they're glued to the TV on Saturday morning, but most days I was out fishing. If it wasn't in my pond, it was in the neighbor's pond because he had a catfish pond. Even lied. Oh God, I love this story. He knew we fished over there, and I don't know if he called us or what, but basically told us, you know, that he'd run a seine through the pond and all the fish were gone. I was welcome to fish there if I still wanted to, but there weren't any fish in there. There was still fish in there. I cannot tell you how many fish I brought to my mother to cook. In my pond, it was mostly bluegill. Neighbor had catfish pond. And one of the things that I didn't learn as a kid that I learned as an adult, and I'm sure everybody that's watching the stream knows, but maybe somebody will come along later that doesn't. There is a ton of meat on the head of a fish. Like, you know, I would take a bluegill and I'd, you know, let's say that this is the bluegill because that's how they're shaped, just like this. I'd go down. No. You want to start as far forward on the back of the head as you can and come down at an angle. And then, you can cut out the entire gut pocket that way if you want. But, you know, I left a good amount of meat on those because I just didn't know any better. I really wanted to get an Asian carp today. Actually, I want to get a couple of Asian carp, and I'll tell you why. So, the number one reason is bait. The number two reason is I've watched videos on how to clean an Asian carp. And I would like to try my hand at it. Because apparently the meat's really good. It's just that they're so bony. Live bones everywhere. Well, not live bones everywhere, but I have live bones in certain spots. And us Americans, we do not like bones in our fish. So what I've got is a weighted treble hook here. That's out as far as my little baby arms can throw it. Let it hit the bottom, and then you pull and you jerk. Now the first cast that I did this on, oh, and you let it fall back to the bottom. First cast, I actually lost one of these snagging hooks. Snagging hooks are expensive, so I ordered some from Grizzly Jig Company. I ordered like 20 of them is what I had ordered to get free shipping or something like that. Or maybe it wasn't free shipping, but so it made drop the cost enough that it was worth paying shipping on. Like I said, if I went about 50 yards down the other way, south of my rods, that would probably be a better place. But I like my ankles. I got to take my hottie out dancing tonight. Okay, I heard something. I heard a bell. Oh, I see it. Right rod. Pulling this one in so don't lose it on the bottom. Oh. Well, that answered the question of what was going on with the right rod, doesn't it? Dadgummit. All excited for nothing. Like Scotty when he gets on plenty of fish. All excited for nothing. Sorry, Scotty. I had to make fun of something. And me being stupid enough to catch my own line was not something I was willing to let live. Anyway, let it drop to the bottom, and then you give it a big, just long of a tug as you can, as fast as you can. You're trying to find a fish and hook it. And as you know, carp have some serious scales on them. If you ever want to fight for a fish, I'll hook one. Make a 5-pound fish feel like a 20-pounder real easy. Well, this one's fairly next to the shore. I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't really go down that way and not make a fool out of myself. Bigger fool out of myself. That sand is just sticking to my shoes. Down here I got a Don Julio, a bunch of Red Bull bottles, cans. Because whenever I'd launch my boat here, I'd get out about 40 or 50 yards and the Asian carp would just start jumping. They do not like motor noises, vibrations, anything. And once one of them goes, they all go. I had one hit the side of my boat so hard, I had to check and make sure I didn't have a dent. I don't know how the fish survived, to be honest with you. I mean, that was a thump. But I've got a V-hull. So I've never had one actually jump in the boat. I had a number of them hit the boat though. And anybody who tells you that snagging fish is fun, it's not. It's a lot of work. But Asian carp are filter feeders, so they're not going to bite your hook. You may catch one in the mouth from it just trying to suck up everything in the water, but it's not eating your bait. You got all excited when I thought I had that one fish. I did catch a fish. Unfortunately, it was me, right? Let me go look at chat and see what y'all are laughing at me for. Yeah, I hope you guys win a lot of prizes. Just remember me if you win it. Well, now, Scotty catches them on raffle traps because he's trying to get those skipjacks. Hey, Stacy, good to see you. Yeah, it was a good bite. Unfortunately, it wasn't a real bite. Yeah, I was looking for good rod holder ideas. I mean, there's lots of good rod holders out there. The problem is I'm cheap. The ones I'm using, the spiral one, so you have to get the really big ones. The Walmart spiral ones aren't worth it. They won't hold a catfish rod. That I got from a bait shop for like $9. The other ones, little stainless steel looking ones, they came from Temu, and they're a little bendy. Flexible, I should say. They don't really bend, they flex. Hey, Hoosier, good to see you, my friend. Well, so Rod, if you see how they feed, I mean, they basically walk around just opening and closing their walk around. They open and close their mouths. They're not supposed to eat jigs. We'll put it like that. That's supposedly they're herbivores and plankton feeders and all that. But yeah, I mean, I've seen catfish and carp. He went fishing with Steve Douglas, and they caught a few in the mouth. Yes, Fat Cat, I do need a haircut. Yeah, they don't care what rod holder I use, and I get that. And you know, I look at Monster rod holders; they're a good product. Don't get me wrong. Same for Smackdown and all those guys. But my goodness, those things are built like tanks. I think my boat would tip over before one of those would break. I think the rod would break in half before those. You know, I mean, I'm all for overbuilding stuff. That stuff's overbuilt. If you can break one of those, you're a better man than I am. Of course, you're probably a better man than I am, even if you're a woman. Okay, Rod, I'm not going to call you a liar, man. I'm just going to tell you, you know what? The research I've seen, the what's the word I'm looking for? The documentaries and stuff. There's some music in the background. Well, it's more like just bass thumping. I can tell. I would never call it music. I can't imagine I get a copy straight. Yeah, I mean, that's not what they primary feed on. How's that? Is that a better way of putting it? I mean, if you got a small enough jig with a little worm piece on it, I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't suck it in. Cost does not always mean good quality, and there are inexpensive things that are good quality. What the brand name does for you, and a lot of people, a lot of companies have just screwed themselves in this category. The brand name tells customers what to expect. When I see an Abu Garcia reel, I'm expecting a good quality reel. I am not expecting a $20 Walmart special reel, but they make them. So, you know, when everybody says, hey, go get an Abu Garcia, and somebody sees this Abu Garcia for $20, they're like, well, that was a piece of junk. Yeah, it was. That's also why I don't like things like, I found a Bill Dance rod in a pond. I caught it, basically. And I looked at it, I'm like, this is the biggest hunk of junk. I mean, it's a $20 rod and reel. Nothing special about it. I would not put my name on it. And I mean, I'm sure Bill Dance, you know, made some money off of that, and nothing wrong with that. But I think that your name needs to stand for something. And I don't think it always does. You know, I mean, if New Balance started making $20 pair of shoes, if I mean, even Samsung's done it with their cheaper line of phones. You know, it used to be that, you know, you paid extra for the brand name because you knew what you were getting. You knew that you were getting quality. And a lot of companies have just joined the race to the bottom. Hey, gorgeous. I sure hope that's Ashley. Otherwise, I just found me a new girlfriend. You do? What do you have a problem? And by the way, I am wearing a microphone. You muddy?
Yeah, I'm looking for Penny.
Oh, I don't know where she is. I have not seen her.
Okay.
Where do you think you had Penny?
Well, if she wasn't in the door, then I might have dropped her on the trail. Oh, that's dumb.
Oh.
And I do.
Okay.
You can smell air stuff here if I'm look.
Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about, folks. Just so you're clear. Right, you paid for quality. You weren't necessarily paying for the brand name. You just knew that the brand name meant quality. You knew what you were getting, and now they've cut that down. Are you done with your running, baby love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a problem if I have lost penny.
I can see how that would.
Our pockets. I'm going to empty out my vest.
On your speaker. Well, now I'm searching for your normal spots. She's bad like that.
Not even 10 minutes down the trail. I was like, oh, I almost left her in the car. And I almost doubled back at that point.
What's this? Oh, it's chapstick. Well, anyway, folks, Ashley is back from her run. As you saw, we've already caught 57 fish today, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. Everybody, if you haven't already headed, y'all are already over at Cindy's trying to get freebies. I don't blame you. But Cindy, Skip Check Cindy is doing a live stream and giving good stuff away, so head over there. Thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, I'll see you somewhere. Bye, everybody. Yes. Ooh, there's still 2 people. 24 thumbs up. Thank you all.